Officially, good morning. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Wednesday Market Midpoint. My name is Scott. I will be your host. Disclaimers. As always, remember, our service is educational, illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial security or product. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. What are we going to do today? Let's take a look at the opening market. Let's look at our posture to see if it's holding up, if it's going to improve, if there's a trend. If there is, what are we thinking? It's showing more bullishness. We're seeing qualities of stabilization and improvement, if anything. Good morning, Comet. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Mindset for open trades. Not much left. So I think Glenn put out an alert. Still maybe some Walmart. We'll see if that continues to. Does anyone else still have some of that? I think someone did, but I'm not sure if they're here. Anyone still have? What do you still have? Who's got what? Let's start there. Doesn't have to be from the group, but if it's from the group, let me know if there's anything still rolling for you. Good morning, Vladimir. Good to see you, sir. Oops, I kind of jumped the rest of that. What else are we going to do? The rest of what we normally do. Okay, let's go look at what's happening. Well, there's Walmart right there. Still just kind of, hanging out. Anyways. Cisco. Okay, cool. Let's go look at the futures. So the futures at one point were looking fantastic. I don't know. That seems shifty to me. Seems off. Anyway, we're up about 0.25%. That's pretty good. I mean, we think if anything, this is a nice, strong, bullish move. Inarguably. And it follows this, which even though it was just like this one-day event, and then it was just a consolidated afterwards, well, it is okay. That was still a high, and this was a higher high. And this is a low, and that was a higher low, and now it's coming down. So anywhere throughout this, if it right now it feels like a flag. Yeah, right now it feels like a flag. I just saw Kami's comment. There's a bit of caca in fact. But maybe a little less caca. So for me, anything in this zone here, I'm going to be ready for that for sure. That's a higher low. The VIX is showing a nice de-escalation, which for me is indicative of institutions with improved confidence. So it's I mean, look, whatever else. I'm the first one to say I don't care what's going on. It doesn't have to make sense. So if someone's like, well, you're the one who says you don't like these policies or that or whatever, remember that whatever the commentary is always going to be secondary to what do I see on the chart. That's it. One of the things I like to do is be like, what if you didn't know? What if all I did was just grab a chart, put it in front of you, no context. And I just said, what do you see going on here? It's a good way for us to, sort of validate at least our attempt at objectivity. So nothing else matters. Are there more buyers than sellers? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. See a big chunk of buyers up. The sellers are coming in now. Are they done? No, we're not sure yet. It doesn't look like it, but who knows? So right now we're thinking, what's the signal? What's the type of thing that might have us, trade versus what would have to happen for us to be like, oh man, we just got 5 selling days in a row. Well, then of course, if that happens, we're all just waiting. No, I think we're in a good place. Mostly cash. Good place to be. Powder in the keg. If you see what you like, yeah, take a stab at a couple of places. I've got a few that I like in different areas. I'm not looking to be aggressive, but I definitely like to stay engaged. And I will say that, being discriminate, trading less, looking for the right things has paid off. And it's been a profitable month in April. May starting pretty well. Are these like, hey, look how well things are going? No, but it's doing pretty good. Anyways, all right, let's go. Let's look at those things. So we've got 4 minutes now before the market. We have a sense of what it's doing there. Let's take a look at what it's doing here by way of news. That guy looks perplexed. I don't know. It looks very patriotic. Strong data may be masking signs of weakness in the U.S. economy. Well, now that's a... that really tall guy may actually be short. It's kind of how that headline feels to me. But, I mean, look, if it's masking weakness, point to the weakness in the data. I don't understand. I'm going to read that, but not now. But it's got me curious. What else? Futures rise with U.S. China actually talking. Disney beats on profit. Streaming and parks. Yeah, the parks are so expensive. That's why. Let's go see how Disney did. Okay, 100. They're going to be up in this area on the gap. That's pretty good. What else? Ford hikes price on some models, citing tariffs. What else? China's sales of Tesla fall 6%. Okay, I mean, not much. We know today is Fed Day. There was one article that talked about all eyes on Palace. Fed grapples with Trump tariff dilemma. I don't think they're grappling with it. They are data driven. I think it's that simple. So as of right now, the inflation is stalled again. It hasn't come down. And certainly the Fed, knowing that a number of factors are increasing that are likely to put upward pressure on prices, they're going to wait. I just don't see it. I don't see it in May. Don't see it in June. I'm even, and if they don't reverse policy, then I don't see it in July. So I don't know. That's where it could get rough in the summer. Okay. Anything else coming out? Jobless claims tomorrow, expected to ease back down a little bit. Then a bunch of Fed speak. Not much. So then it becomes what? Back to inflation. So they speak tomorrow, and then next week, CPI and PPI. So, all right. 1 minute before the market opens. Where are the areas that I feel like we have opportunity to consider? Robinhood. Robinhood is one. that I'm looking at. Let's talk through it. Moved up, nice push, new highs since the drop. Started to consolidate, ran into earnings, still maintained this support level. So there's a solid support level right there. I kind of messed up the line. Let me redo that line. That's better. There's a nice support level there. Stochastics looks like it's trying to make that turn. And Heikin-Ashi is given this today. So what can we do with that? If I build this into a trade, my thought would be to take this and ask for it here. Right? So that's where the target will come from. I might go with an initial stop right below that red candle, knowing that tomorrow, as long as I have another good day, I can immediately move my stop to underneath this low. And what that will do, that will take some risk out of the trade for me early. And I always like the ability to do that, take that type of a stop. So I just changed the chart. I was like, what did I just do? I didn't notice. Let me go back to the one I was looking at. That looks more like it. Okay, thoughts? Questions? I can't see exactly, but 39.5. We'll call that, 12 points? 58. So I'd even put my line a little higher, 58. $9. Okay, I think there's 9 of upside. 46. Yeah, I do like this. I think there's a good chance this one could come out. No one's weighing in, so everyone's like, I don't know, Scott. I don't know what you're thinking there, buddy. Let's keep going. What was another one? Let me get back to the standard candles. It was, I'm trying to go from memory. I couldn't find my notes. Yeah, that's a maybe. I'll take that. Connie. Maybe. Hood Coca-Cola. I think a little more. I like the top of this candle, 72.04. So maybe 72.10 as an entry. What do you guys think about that? 72. I could draw that. Right around there. That's the mark. And what would that mark indicate? You're wondering. There's a support level. And that would indicate that it's bouncing. I'd probably think stop below support. There's the entry, so there's my risk. Target. Just eyeballing it, something like 76. It would be, replicating this kind of a move. Coke. So I'm thinking about that. It's got a little bit of work to do. And as Kami said, there is still a Fed without a lot of expectations. There's still, though, verbiage that could move in the market. And you never know when someone channels their inner Alan Greenspan and throws a Fed surprise. When's the last time? I feel like the last time I say this, and then I'm like, wait a second. There was those 2 3/4 point hikes that were surprising. Like boom, boom. You're like, oh, geez. Okay. What was the last one? Hood, Coke, and there was one more. I better just go through the whole list. Apple. That's what it was. I go to the top of the list and it's like, oh, it's Apple. Apple's close. Right? I think I've been talking about the fact that it's it did get bumped up in this area, couldn't get through, but it's still a higher low as of right now. So to me, I'm thinking, hey, they're trying. We're looking for tech to go. Apple can always have more of a leading capacity to it. So yeah, what would it take for Apple? Let's talk about that, because obviously it's not today. Apple's down today. Apple would have to really kind of give me a turn. I'd say the top of this doji is a good reference point. That's how much I need to see the buyers come in. If they get that, then I think there it is. That's enough of a tipping point that it established that as support. So now I can put the stop below that support level. Now, if we break, my thought is, yeah, we should get up to this old high here. Nice move up. I'm not looking for too much there. I don't think. So those are the three that I think look the best with Hood. Right now, this one is not. I would say right now, Hood is the most poised to turn into a signal. But let's go through everything else. AbbVie, all of a sudden, what happened? Boom, boom, 2 days. Now it's slowing down. If it stalls here and starts to turn, absolutely. Nice little, where would I think this is going? I'd probably stay up here to 210, actually. This looks like it could be a day or two, but I definitely like the way that this one looks. Tell me your thoughts on AbbVie. You guys are so quiet today. What's going on out there? Is everyone just kind of sitting back, enjoying their coffee, watching some ticks and listening? Okay, so I like AbbVie. Put it on the list. It's a little behind the others, but got there quickly. Amazon. I don't know. I feel like it's going to pop, and I'll be like, I should have seen it. We're in the selling cycle, and the selling cycle is not doing very much. I don't know. I think there's time to wait, even if I miss the next one. APH, this is new, I believe. Amphenol. I can't even remember where this is from. Eating a homemade chocolate chunk and banana muffin. Oh, that sounds utterly delightful. Chocolate chunk and banana muffin. I didn't know that was a thing. We don't have that in America, but we should. Right, press? Yeah, this looks flagging to me. Where did we find this? I'm all of a sudden not remembering even which sector this came from. I gotta go revisit. Market analyze fundamentals. What do these guys do? Trying to move things around on my other screen. Electrical, electronic, and fiber optic connectors. Was that telecom? Is that where we would put these guys? Information technology? Amphenol. I gotta say, it kind of sounds... The corporation's original name, American Phenolic Corp. Amphenol. Sounds like a drug manufacturer, doesn't it? Sandy said the same thing, right as I said. I'm like, it sounds like you're like, I need a couple of amphenols. Okay. Oh, looks strong. Looks like this is all earnings. So they had a strong earnings. The market's reacting favorably. It's big, strong move up. I would put, even with the earnings, I'd say that's the pull. There's our flag. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that one. That could move. That's interesting. Bank of America. There's just not much there yet. I like Hood, but some of these are just sort of like meandering around in this overbought area. And there's not much we can do with it. Chocolate chunk and banana muffin. Homemade? Like, should you send the recipe out? Or is it bought from a store? I'm finding myself now distracted. It's triggered my ADD. Okay, Caterpillar. It looks okay. I think there's still a consolidation behind here. Oh, Chewy. Chewy is a new retail. We saw it. We thought it looked all right. We'll keep an eye on it for a little while. I'm not going to be in a rush. Anything that's new, I tend to be a little bit more guarded in putting new trades on before I see it for a little while. Bake from scratch, no recipe. I mean, it sounds just like you're a little bit unwilling to share. I'm saying, I mean, that doesn't help me enjoy a delicious chocolate chunk and banana muffin, Sandy. All right. I'll take to the internet and see what I can do, but I'll reach out if I need help. Sienna. Who's in this? Somebody was trading this one. Strong move up, a little bit of this consolidation. Could be more, could be flagging. That's a tough one. If you're in it, I don't know. I might still be trying to push a little bit. CLS. CME maybe starting to roll over. Cisco, that same kind of thing where it's just kind of pushing. Earnings is not too far. It's already done this. It's hard. I mean, I'd be like, probably if I was in it, I'd be like pretty much down to my last piece. If it didn't break out soon, I'd just be like, I'm done here. I don't know if there's going to be time for a new trade before earnings. So I think there's kind of a good number of stocks showing this same sort of pattern. Delta, Duke Energy. Let's see how the diamonds look today. There's that same kind of pattern, right? Where you're just like, are we flagging? Are we hitting resistance? Is it going to actually consolidate down here for a little bit and then go? Do not be hasty to enter something like the one thing I will not do is anticipate a flag. Not in this kind of market. Other markets, maybe. Not this one. Duke. EA. Oh, okay. This is a consumer discretionary. Earnings came out yesterday after market. Oh, look, they crushed it. 61. They got 98. Crushed it. Amazon is taking off, but late. Let's go back. I did. It's funny because I was actually saying Amazon looks like it could go here, but I'm not convinced enough. There's right as we look at just kind of like we say here was a move and then it sort of popped with earnings, but is this the same resistance and we're still coming down from that? And if so, if this is the sell cycle of this one move, are we done? I don't know. And you could simply look at this and say, this looks like a small trough bounce. If that's what you see, that would support a trade. Nothing else for me would. So I'm looking at it like, yeah. That's why I kind of was like, yeah, I could see this thing all of a sudden popping where I'm like looking. I said I could see myself looking backwards and being like, I should have seen that. I see it. It could go. If that right there is the thought process, then I think there's a trade setup here. If you're like, I see all of this as one big consolidation that was just sort of earnings motivated, so I'm not quite sure. Whereas that's got a little bit where I am. Then I'm going to wait. Maybe the calm before the tariff storm hurts. Right, and that's another thing is they're starting to post prices or they're not, and then we're just like, I don't know. I'd like to, if I miss it, what's the risk? It breaks out. It gets through all the moving averages, which that's substantial in and of itself. And if it gets back up, I'd say maybe there. That's probably a good thought process. If you took the trade, that's what I'd be looking for a target. But if not, then I'm thinking if I miss it and it comes back down and bounces off of these averages, that's a great sign for the next trade. I don't know. I'm not going to be, with my posture still negative, I'm not looking to force anything. Not that I'm saying you're forcing a trade. If this was, again, if this is the thought process, the only thing is it's not supported yet with an oscillator. And if you're saying, hey, I'm only going to trade with confirmation from some kind of a signal, an oscillator, whether it's MACD, stochastics, RSI, there's a number of different ones. I have a 7-3 stochastics. It should turn pretty quickly and easily. So without that, maybe that's the other thing that we hold off on. So yeah, good discussion for sure. That's the kind of thing we should be talking about, right? Where was I? Anyone remember? Did I get to the Fs? Fox, that seems about right. Earnings kind of flat, nothing for us there. GE Vernova, we got to wait for the consolidation. Golds, I did not take it, but I know some of you did and are making some money, giving a little back today, but that's kind of how it works. Still should be plenty in the trade for you. Google, kind of just churning in this triangle type pattern. Not quite sure. Closed yesterday for a quick hit gain press. Well done, sir. Nice trade. Goldman. Okay. That's starting to look like a real flag now. Or possibly setting up a consolidation. This is kind of my last area. I don't see that as a low because we never really saw that as a low as we watched through here. It opened down and to me, that just sort of moved like that. So if this comes down and gets to like here and then turns, do I think, well, it took out that last low over there? No, I don't think that at all. So Goldman's looking great. I like Goldman as a candidate to lead financials, but I'm waiting to see, does it break the flag? Does it consolidate a little bit further and turn into a more of a pullback? But really starting to see a little bit more consistency in the price here. This is new. Hilton. Consumer. Again, we're seeing this pattern a lot where we're not quite sure. Are we flagging? Is there more coming? Here's Hood. And this is why we don't trade in the first 20 minutes typically. We wait. If it turns red and ends up back down here, am I thinking that I have a trade? No, there's no trade there. We're just holding support, and it might do this and then bounce, and then I'd be like, there's the trade, and then we're ready to go. Be patient. We have signals. There's potential. No need to force. That's overextended. Need a pullback. Same with IBM. Same with ICE. But think about the implications of all these things being overextended. How did they get overextended? Because of a big bullish push. Do we think this market's just going to just run and run and run and run? Oh, FOMO. No, I don't think that. Let's just be patient. It's going to come. We'll get our next round of setups, make some money, see if the market continues to improve, see how small caps are doing. Small caps, okay. Coke, getting closer. Getting closer. 72.10. We've been as high as 72.05. Let's keep an eye on this. This one could trigger. Coke's a nice play in this market, I think. Kroger, MasterCard overextended. Need a pullback. Meta overextended. It could be flagging. Let's put Meta on the list. But I want you to notice, what do we have? We have Apple on a potential list. We have Meta on a potential list. Goldman on a potential list. Those are big names in growth sectors. That's favorable. As I said, it's not like, oh, I think the tariffs are working or not working. I think this, I think that. None of that matters. What do you see the market do? If you see buyers coming in, if you see the VIX stabilizing, there's plenty of employment. There's plenty of money coming into the institutions. And during periods of time when the market pulls back, are they throwing all that money in and then they're losing it? No, they're sitting on it. So they have plenty of powder in their kegs that when they decide things are okay, it's going to move and we're going to be ready. That's my premise. We're going to be ready. But I do like Meta. I think I like Goldman better than Morgan. I don't know why. They're probably not that different. Subtle, but I like Goldman better. Microsoft, big strong move on earnings, waiting for consolidation. MicroStrategy came in yesterday. Nice chip play at a higher high. We need a consolidation. Netflix and a bit of a pennant. Not a flag, but a pennant. Similar constructs. Nvidia. Okay. Is anyone still in this one? I imagine everyone already took their money out. Got its first target. Realized it's not going to get the next one. Fine, we're out. Wait for what? Wait for the flag or wait for the reload, whichever it is. I'll take either one of those. Either one. Palantir. Steven, who's not here today, but maybe we'll listen to the recording, said, is there going to be an opportunity here? Maybe. And now it's starting to look like more so yes. This was the last move. Big, strong move. And now it's pulling back. And if it can stabilize, then that's definitely a higher low. Getting close to all-time highs. Is 125 all-time? Yeah, I love it too. I want you to consider this is a what? Anybody want to give it to me? You guys know. Looks very cup and handle-ish. Yes, sir. We're in the handle. I love trading the handle. Interestingly, way back when I did a little study on failed cup and handles and the tendency to retrace to the bottom of the cup. So that's something to think about too, that if it can't break, but if it breaks, that's a $40 cup, which puts and there's different conversations about it. Mine is half. What is the half equal? Time. And the cup itself is the distance. So we would expect it to move that far in that amount of time, right? So that would put a target of 160. That is a Bill O'Neill. If you're a Investor Business Daily person, Bill O'Neill, trader, that was his pattern that he likes. Cup and handle. But yeah, I like the fact that it's a higher low. That's what I like. We can all see different things and still like it. Overextended on Philip Morris. Looks like kind of a flag type pattern on the Qs. Maybe a consolidation on Roblox. Reddit. Yeah. There's a move. Survived earnings. Pulling back. This is about where it should stall, though. We don't want to see it starting to fill the gap or get much lower. So if it can turn from here, then heck yeah. Maybe 150 is that next place it's going to try to get. I like it. I see more and more things starting to turn into potential. Here's a new one, Rivian. Rivian survived earnings. Lost less than expected. Okay, maybe it's about to try to make a run back towards at least 15 and a half-ish, possibly 16 and a half. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it can do it. Rocket Lab's about to have earnings, nothing there. RTX still kind of volatile, nothing there for me. SE needs a pullback, earnings coming up. There's a lot of strength, though. We're seeing a lot of strength. Here's another new one, AT&T. I don't know why I put this on. It's really kind of an ugly stock. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I'm throwing it back off. TJX, same kind of a thing. I'm like, oh, that looks okay. Then I'm like, nah, I really don't think I would trade that. I'm throwing it off for me. If any of these you like, keep them on your list. There was times where I'll put it on and then I'm like, this toast. We're about to hit earnings. I look at this and I'm like, there's nothing here that I'm going to trade. I'm getting rid of it. We're trying to clean up the list. And when I get this list, maybe one more week where I just kind of spark myself to just throw some things off. We run a couple of searches to get a few things on. And then I'll say, okay, we're good. And I'll update I don't want to keep updating the list and then be like, now you go update. So we'll do it soon. I promise. TPR looks good. Just got to see how it does with earnings. Tesla. I mean, honestly, Tesla looks bullish. If anything, TSM, there's another flag type pattern, strong up move. Looking forward to the update. Yes. Maybe I'll just go ahead and update it now, if that's the case, and then you can follow it if it's been a little while. It has been fluctuating a little bit. Consolidation. Twilio, UUP, Visa. How's the VIX doing today? Already stalling out. Is it going to keep going? Is it going to give us a higher low or lower high that we're going to be able to score positively? Walmart, it's trying. I think I can. I'm just going to give it a little bit of room, see what it can do. There it is. What are we working on this week? This is the last week. If you're new or it's been a little while, we're about to start over on section 1 next week of the trading plan. Where the next 2-month cycle begins. 8 weeks of trading plan goodness. But this week we're working on trading goals. Even if you don't go into the plan and formalize them, set a couple of goals. Set a goal to get an entire first pass on your trading plan. Every section has something in it. If it's not a lot, it's something. Once that's in place, set a goal to then polish it a little bit. Set an activity goal. If you're trading paper, then go get 25 trades and see how much you can learn in that during this interesting market of ours. So the goals don't have to be, I want to make a 20% in a quarter. Those are actually wishes. Goals should be oriented around the process. Is it making you better? Is it making your trading better? Making you smarter? Are you practicing something? Are you observing something? Yada, yada. So, put something on paper. Let's get it. Should be helpful processing this and seeing where it leads us. I feel like there could be some alerts today, at least one, and then a couple more this week. I feel like we're kind of on the precipice of it. Let's see what happens. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? I think the improvement that we've seen has held up. I don't know if this week has necessarily pushed it further, but even if we stall a little bit closer to zero and out of that negative 2.5 territory, it stalls, and then we can get a pop out of that. Oh, that next pop will be helpful. If we can pop from that, minus half to zero and pop up to that 1.5, 2, then we'll see things even more, bullishly from there. Good to see everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Glenn will be here this afternoon to close for the hour. Tomorrow night we have our Trading Foundations Q&As with Glenn and I in the evenings. I hope you can make at least some of that. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy trading.